between an alkanoic acid plus an alkanol will give you an ester, and the product is water. Now, in this, I don't like wasting time. Let's go to the name immediately. You have number one here at the board, and then you have this structure. For you to name this structure using the Iupac, the first thing you are supposed to do, you have to start naming this side that do not contain this OO. So we'll first name this front side, and then we name the back side. What am I saying? If you are asking what is the name of this compound here, the first thing you will do is, what is the name of this compound in front of these two oxygen? And you can see that this thing is ethyl. So for you to name an ester, first the compound that is at the front of those two oxygen goes with the alkyl family. So this is ethane, this is ethyl, right? So if you name this place, you come back and name this one. So if I ask you what's the name of this compound, this is ethyl. So you have two carbon before this oxygen. Ethyl etanoids. Can you see how this simple it is? The front one you name it as an alkyl. Now, the back one you name it as an alkane. Like this one now, we can say this is an ethane. Now you remove the E and replace it with what? OATE. Because this is an ester. And esters, they are called alkanoids. So this is how to name this compound. Now the second one, if you have something like this, a condensed structure. And in most of this video, this is what I will be using to name this compound. Now, before I go on, I want to tell you two different ways to name this compound. It may be a Iupac name, it can be the common name. Now, look at the three things I want you to just write down on your notes. When I'm talking about ethanoids, this is the Iupac name, but the common name is called the acetate. If I'm talking about the metanoids, that's the Iupac name. The common name is called the what? The format or the formate. Now, this is the butanoids. The common name is, you can see it here, this is the butyrites. So, now, the name of this compound is ethyl ethanoids. I can come and tell you what is the name. I can use the common name and call it ethyl acetate. So it should, in case you see some place they say ethyl acetate and someone is saying ethyl ethanoid, you will know that the person that is referring to this is the Iupac name. Ethyl acetate is the word, the common name. Let's continue. Then example number 2 here at the board. If you watch clearly, you will see that you have to be very careful in this. Remember, we have to name at the front of the oxygen. So we have to name this part first. Now, the mistake people will make is when I ask you to name this compound, you come here and say this is 1. You're already making a very huge amount of mistake. This place cannot be 1. This oxygen is sharing these 2 bonds. So you start naming from this place. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Now you can see from this place, this is propyl. Remember, we have to name this the front side before we can name the back side. And when I said name the front side, I'm talking about this compound. Now, in the course of this video, there will be some structures. I will have to interchange them. Just know that you have to name the compound first that do not contain the oxygen part. The side that do not contain the oxygen part, that is the first side you have to name first before you now name the other part. Now, if you come to this structure, you will see that this side do not contain the oxygen part. So I'm naming it first. And the name is propyl. Propyl. Now, we'll come back to this side. Be very careful in this. You get why? I will come back to this side. I will not name from this place. I will start from here. Remember, this is the functional group. Of course. Now, I will start from here. This is 1 and then what? 2. And this is 2 carbon. So this will give me what? Propyl ethanoate because it's carbon number 2. Remember, under the alkane, we said when there's carbon number 1, it is called the methane. Carbon number 2, ethane. Carbon number 3, propane. Carbon number 4, butane, and so on. So now, this is just 2 carbon here. So the name is propyl ethanoate. Propyl ethanoate. Then what is the common name? The common name is propyl acetate. Be very conversant with this, please. We have this structure for you to name it. So remember, we'll start naming the part that do not contain the oxygen. And the part is this part, right? And remember, we're not going to start naming from here. We'll start naming from this side. So this will give you 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So this is butyl. So you write it. This is so easy. Butyl. Now the next thing will come and now name the side that contain the oxygen first, right? That contain the functional group. Now this side is, you will not name from this place. You start naming from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Butanoids. Now what if I clean this side right now? What would be the answer? Pause the video. This will still give you butyl, but this time it will now give you propanoid, right? Now, example number 4, there is an oxygen group here. Now you have this compound. Remember, we'll start naming from this place. So this is 1 and then this is 2. Now remember, in this place, look at this question. It have a hydrogen here. And so we are only going to name this part here 1. This compound, this place is, this is 1, 2, and that will give you ethyl methanoate. Ethyl methanoate. So you start naming from here 1, 2. Now you come here and name here 1 and then what? 2. So what's the name of this compound? So this is ethyl, right? Ethyl ethanoate. So this is ethyl ethanoate. We have a compound here. Pause that video and give me the answer immediately. So in this compound, should I start naming here or here? If you're understanding me, you know I cannot start naming here. I just changed it. So you can see that the oxygen group are at the right hand side. And look at the one that do not contain oxygen. Please, you have to understand the principle. This is so easy. So that means that my naming will start from this place. So this is my 1. So this is my 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. And this is 5. Right? So here is pentyl. This is pentyl. The side that do not contain the oxygen. Now coming to this side, I will start my naming from this place. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So the name of this compound is pentyl butanoate. That's the name, pentyl butanoate. So understand the principle. It is not more that because I'm solving this one, you will see that this one is always at the right hand side. You will now cram it and say, so this one must always be at the right hand side. No, they can still change it like this. You have to be very careful. This is naming of esters that involves the benzene ring. Now, whenever a benzene ring is directly attached to an oxygen, is the phenyl. Whenever a benzene is directly attached to a carbon, it's just a benzene. So, you know, this is a benzene. This, but it's directly attached to this oxygen. Now look at this benzene. It's directly attached to a carbon. So this is benzene, right? Now this is phenyl. Now another way for you to differentiate it is the phenyl has 6 carbon. If you count this, this is 6 carbon. But the benzene has 7 carbon. So this is 6 carbon plus this. is 7. Another way to differentiate it. Now, if you want to name this compound, remember the rule. Name the side that do not contain the oxygen first. Then you come back and name the side that contain the oxygen. Is it not? That's the rule. So the name of this compound is phenyl benzonoids. Good. Now, coming to the second part, this is the side that contains the oxygen, right? So naming this side, so this is what? Ethyl, right? Benzonoids. Come to this side. Can you see that this is the side that contains the, of course, this is the phenyl, right? The benzene is attached directly to oxygen, right? So you're going to have to name this side before you name this side. You can see this compound. We're going to name the side that does not contain the oxygen at all. Then come and name the side that contains the oxygen. And then this is phenyl. So this is phenyl. And this is 2. So phenyl ethanoids. So the first thing is name the part that does not contain the oxygen. So this is 1. Now look at the tricky part of this question. It has a branch here, right? So you start naming from there. So this is 1, 2, and 3. So the name of this compound is methyl, right? But at number 2 we have 2-methyl. And the parent chain is 1, 2, 3. So this is propanoids. That's the name. So naming the parts that do not contain the oxygen, 1, 2. So this is ethyl, right? The part that contains the oxygen, we start naming from here. So we have at 3, we have methyl group, right? So the parent chain is butanoids, right? So the name of this compound is ethyl 3-methyl butanoids. Contain the oxygen that do not contain the oxygen. So we start naming from the side that do not contain the oxygen. So from here, we'll start naming 1, 2, 3, 4. But at number 3, we have a branch here, which is the methyl group, right? So, and the name of this compound is butyl. So you write butyl 3-methyl, right? So from here we'll start naming 1, 2. So butyl 3-methyl. The brand from this side it is just 2. So ethanoids. So the same thing applies here. We'll start naming from this side, right? So this is 1, 2, and 3. This place is just 1 because of this hydrogen. We stop here. So we start naming this side. Remember here is 1, 2, 3 is propyl. Now, be very conversant. Remember I told you in naming, when I was talking about naming of alcohols, I told you that we name it alphabetically. Now, look at, we have at 2, we have a methyl group, right? But we have the parent here, the parent chain here is the propyl. So M comes before P. So I'm going to write this as 2-methyl propyl. Now this is just 1, right? So methanoids. Because there's no how I'm going to come and write propyl 2-methyl methanoid, because M comes before P, right? So that's why I wrote it this way. So naming the side that does not contain the oxygen, meaning from this place, we name it, right? So this is 1, 2, and 3. So we have a hydroxyl branch here. So this will give me what? 1, 2, 3. This is propyl 2-hydroxyl. So we start naming from 1, 2, right? 1, 2. Propyl 2-hydroxyl ethanoids. Yes, because P comes before H, right? Good. The same thing is happening here. Look at what's happening here. This is the branch. So we start naming. So we start naming from here, right? So this is 1, 2, right? So I'll start numbering this one from here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, so from here, there's no any branch here, right? So this is 1, 2. So this is ethyl. Ethyl. Now look at what is happening. Look, this is a very, very interesting question. So at this side, now look at what is happening here. At carbon number 5, we have ozo. The name of this branch is ozo at carbon number 5. At carbon number 4, we have Cl, which is chloro. Now look at what is going to happen. I'm going to have to put chloro before ozo because C comes before O, right? So this will give me 4/chloro. Then give like this. So this will now be 5/oxo. The name of this parent chain is 7. So 7 is heptane, which is heptanoid. So the name of this compound is ethyl 4-chloro 5-oxo heptanoid. That naming from the side does not contain the oxygen. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2 bromo, right? Butyl, the longest continuous chain. Whichever way you write it here is not bad, right? But write the because all of them have BB. So start writing the branch first. Now we are done with this side, butyl. Now coming to this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So at 4 we have the amino group. Now this group is the ether, not ester, ether. Metaoxymethane you put here, but this is not what we want. This is the ether group. So we have to also name it. Now A comes before metaoxy. So this is 4 amino, 3 metaoxy. The parent chain is pentanoids. That's the name of that compound. Now, the name of this compound. Look at this. We have 2 of the functional group here and here. So remember, you have to name this side and name the side. So here is 1, 2. So here is 1, 2. So we have 2 of the ethyl. So this is diethyl. This is diethyl because there are 2, right? Now look at this thing. If I can name it from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whichever way you, because there are 2 functional, whichever way you name it is still the same thing. So the next continuous chain is pentene, right? Dioids. Why I put this dioids here is because there are 2. If there are 3, it will be tri. If we have 4 functional group, it will be tetra. So this is the name of this compound. Please subscribe to my channel. Always like and comment on the video. Even if you have downloaded, go back. This is how to grow the channel. Thank you very much. Remember I said the name of this compound is diethyl pentane dioids.